broadcast will start shortly. Did you know the best-run municipalities in South Africa are all governed by the DA? DA mayors are working hard to protect residents from bad governance and mismanagement by getting the basics right, delivering better services and having zero tolerance for corruption. This is the DA difference. The next broadcast will start shortly. Follow us on social media for the latest in news and politics in South Africa. Like and follow our page on Facebook. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram and X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on anything. Be part of the conversation. Tell us what you think in the comment section. And please, like and share our videos with your friends and family. The next broadcast will start shortly. If you care about South Africa and want to make a positive difference, then join the DA. Visit our website at da.org.za for more information. Find out who represents you in your ward and district. Who are the DA mayors working for you in your town or city, and which MPs represent you and your causes in Parliament. On our website, you can learn more about our latest campaigns and how you can get involved. Join the Democratic Alliance to rescue South Africa. Become an activist, become a councillor, become a member of Parliament if you care about South Africa. Please visit donate.da.org.za. Donate to a cause you believe in. Donate to make a difference. Welcome to a broadcast of the Democratic Alliance. Did you know the Democratic Alliance is the stable anchor of the Government of National Unity? DA ministers and DA deputy ministers are getting things done with a special focus on job creation and economic growth, driving down the cost of living and placing the needs of the people first. Join the mission to rescue South Africa. The next broadcast will start shortly. Did you know the best-run municipalities in South Africa are all governed by the DA? DA mayors are working hard to protect residents from bad governance and mismanagement by getting the basics right, delivering better services and having zero tolerance for corruption. This is the DA difference. The next broadcast will start shortly. Follow us on social media for the latest in news and politics in South Africa. Like and follow our page on Facebook. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram and X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on anything. Be part of the conversation. Tell us what you think in the comment section. And please, like and share our videos with your friends and family. The next broadcast will start shortly. If you care about South Africa and want to make a positive difference, then join the DA. Visit our website at da.org.za for more information. Find out who represents you in your ward and district. Who are the DA mayors working for you in your town or city, and which MPs represent you and your causes in Parliament. On our website, you can learn more about our latest campaigns and how you can get involved. Join the Democratic Alliance to rescue South Africa. Become an activist, become a councillor, become a member of Parliament if you care about South Africa. Please visit donate.da.org.za. Donate to a cause you believe in. Donate to make a difference. Let's rescue South Africa. Join the DA, because the DA gets things done.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for everybody for joining us to this press conference. Firstly, I just want to introduce the people that you see up front here with me. We have the federal leader of the Democratic Alliance, Mr. Geordin Lewis. On my left-hand side, I've got the DA mayoral candidate for Johannesburg, Helen Zille. Where we are today, we have the business owner who is sitting next to Helen, Mr. Mabenzo. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us. Today, we are doing this particular oversight to really show the decay and the rot that is happening in Johannesburg. We have seen the complete derelict of public amenities, infrastructure across the city of Johannesburg. We also have taken you today to the Nancy Field sewer plant where we saw the outpouring of sewage that's going on there, just to show you the conditions that Johannesburg residents are facing in Johannesburg. We will also later on in the day visit a number of sites. We will be going to Claremont, to the Maxwell Court, where a particular building, a municipal building, burnt down a few weeks ago, where you will see the conditions in which people are living in this very city. We'll also be going to the women's hostel in Alexandra, where there's been a complete neglecting of the particular property. And finally, we will be going to the Public Protector's office in Marshalltown, where we will be handing in a document there. Without further ado, I want to say that we have experienced a complete neglect in the city of Johannesburg, and the Public Protector has chosen to focus on other areas when Johannesburg is completely falling down before our eyes, breaking down before our eyes, and the decay that we see is an everyday lived reality for the residents of Johannesburg, which is completely unacceptable. This oversight is to show that particular decay and the fact that there is no oversight by the Public Protector. I will now call upon our mayoral candidate, Helen Zille, who will take us through what we've seen and what we are going to do later on today. Can I hand over to you? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Luyolo, the regional chair, the Johannesburg regional chair of the Democratic Alliance. I'd like to welcome you all, but a very particular welcome to our federal leader, who is very lucky to be the mayor of Cape Town, I must just say, and who has budgeted 40 billion rand from the city's resources to make sure that nothing ever looks like this in Cape Town. And then I want to say a particular welcome to the people who've had to live like this. And Felicity, won't you just come and sit here? Because you are absolutely central to this. So if you can come and sit in the chair that was mine, I'll go and sit in your chair after this. Felicity and Mabenzo are two of the people who have suffered most significantly through what we're seeing here today. Just to summarize, what we're seeing here today and what you saw at the Niagara Falls of sewage was the fact that the sewage is coming from Soweto, from Lenasia, from parts of Eldorado Park and others. And before it can get to the sewage treatment plant, it hits blockages and it spills all over this area. So very little of it actually hits the treatment plant, but the treatment plant is so broken that even what does hit the treatment plant comes back as grey water, not as clean water. And the pollution here has been going on for about 8 years, and all the reeds you see everywhere are not indigenous to this place. The reeds have grown up because of the sewage. And it is something that has been, as Vasco said earlier, drawn to the attention of the city again and again and again with no response or no effective response. And just opposite the road where we've been now, you saw another smaller lake of sewage just outside the pump station there. And that's also broken. And the reason why we have Felicity and Mabenzo here today, Mabenzo's real name is Mr. Najam, but because he was one of the leading Mercedes spare parts suppliers and contractors in Joburg and fixer of Mercedes-Benzes, he has become widely known as Mabenzo. And Mabenzo's business premises are here, and then right down this road that we've just come along, you see other businesses, most of which are closed. And Mr. Mabenzo is here because He wants to tell you how his business has collapsed since the sewage collapsed. Because in order to get to these business premises, clients have to drive through that sewerage lake. And no one wants to take their car through that. And no one wants to come and do business in a place that smells like this does. And Mabenzo is one of the last people hanging out here to give people jobs and to enable this business to continue. Felicity lives in a retirement village up the road. It's called the Nansfield Retirement Village. And this sewerage has backed up for about, is it 3 or 4 kilometers from here? 3 or 4 kilometers from here, right into the premises of that retirement village. And I visited there with Vasco and with other people, and what it looks like is quite terrible, and what it smells like is beyond endurance. And the elderly people have to live there day in, day out, with a consequence about 4 kilometers from here of this blocked sewage system. And of course, they're not the only people. There are many, many others that live with this. And given the fact that this has such a profound impact on the public, and it speaks directly to the issue of the allocation of government resources, we thought this might interest the public protector. We are very grateful at the new standard she has set, and we acknowledge it, but we'd like that standard to be applied everywhere. And so I think it's going to be important for Felicity to say a few words, and then for Mabenzo to say a few crucial words around what it has meant for his business to have a lake of sewage at the front door. Felicity.
Good morning, everyone. It's a privilege and an honor to stand here. I do not take it lightly at all. I want to thank Helen for inviting me to come and speak about the zoo in Eldorado Park Extension 3 Retirement Village. Well, it is really terrible to live under circumstances like that. Well, I only lived there now for 11 years. But ever since prior to my entrance to the village, it was like that. And my particular unit is really bad because I'm right next to the zoo. And the pipeline, like Helen said, the pipeline comes from here. And everything is pushing up. And it's very bad. My husband had to take a hose pipe and hose all the dirt because it was in front of our door. And there's an old lady, you know, I feel sorry for her. If the government didn't build that boundary around her unit, everything was going to be in her house. And the trucks came out to check, nothing happened. I made several phone calls, nothing happened. I told somebody, I said, I used my phone to report what is happening. And, you know, it is really bad, and I don't think we can live in circumstances like that. And since it's a retirement village, elderly lives there, I was feeling so proud when Helen says to me, you're looking so young, but you stay at a retirement village. I maybe look young from the outside, but age, I'm old in age. But nonetheless, I hope and I trust that after all these things, that things will really, you know, take place for all of us. Not only at the village, but also what I see here. I stay 50 years in Eldorado Park. And I have been around here, but what I saw today really shocked me. And for the villagers, they don't even know I am here today. I didn't tell any of them. But nonetheless, I hope and I trust that after today, things will take charge for us. Not for myself personally, since I stay at the village, but also for all the villagers. There's 60 units, but there is terrible, I must tell you. It is very terrible. So I trust and believe that everything will come right for all of us. Thank you so much, Helen.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you are all good. I'm Mr. Mabenzo from Mabenzo Youth Space. I'm occupying this place now for this year 26 years. All right, now, it's a hard thing. Whoever is going to be critics and say it's a political stunt, maybe we're pulling here or that, but let me say what I will. I'm just facing reality here. Sorry for one thing, you must understand, ek praat soos ek wil. So if you're not going to like it, as die pad. Kijk, die plek, laat ek het so stel, is in Homoeren. In Homoeren. Ek is nou al hier 25 jaar. Die kak wat op my hoek aangaan hierso is like, ek het sê van die presidency af, and I've got proof. Ek sê nie goed uit met David nie. I can show you proof. If you want the proof, you're available. Come, I'll give it to you. I went as far as the presidency, right down to Mayoral, right down to MMCs, MECs, people of Joburg Water. You know, if I must give names, I get so a long list. Miskien van nie tot in die kapen. But anyway, there's no attention being given here. I'm suffering here. My business is, look, it's no more. I said I'm going to start packing up here, sell this place and move from here. The sewage that comes out here, we can't even eat. We can't even breathe properly here. When customers come, sewage, they can't pass with their cars. After 2-3 months, they come back, same thing. This has been happening for years, not for days, for months. This is for years, and let me call it decades. I'm here 26 years. So I'll say decades it's been happening. The worst scenario started after 2010. After 2010, the sewage started coming out like this, very bad. I complained to all the relevant parties, and they all know them. Whoever's listening now, whoever's there out there, they know. Ek praat nou. They know who they are. And they're not giving me attention. So here now, I'm sitting here after crying to my mother, my father, my brother, my sister. Here my neighbor comes along and gives out an olive branch and is prepared to help me. So this is what happened with me. I was sitting here, Mrs. Zille, thank you to her. She came here, she asked, who's Mr. Mabenzo? Approached me and said she's going to help. Now it's like amazing. It's amazing. You call out to the government for 15 to 10 years. They got all my messages, they got video footages, they've got everything. They're not reaching out. Yeah, a lady comes and intervene. So, I don't know. Gentlemen, I'm living in a bad situation here. So bad that my account has accumulated with the city of Johannesburg. It's like through the roof. I don't know who's going to pay for that, want ek gaan nie vir hy kak betaal nie. Hy kak wat hier gebeur, ek gaan nou net nie betaal vir dit nie. But this is what's happening here. Our situation is bad. It's very bad here. I challenge anybody who wants to take over my business here. You're welcome. Come, take over my business. Laat ek by jou huis gaan leer and you see if you can run this place. Call any official also, government official. Let them come. Let them come take over my business and see will they live like this. Sal hulle die kak elke dag reek, sal hulle nie kak kan lewe. It's bad. It's uncalled for. I mean, come, and we are human beings here. So let us be treated as human beings. Let us not look at, now we're sitting with a political party like the DA, dan het ons van meneer ANC, dan het ons van meneer PA, dan het ons van meneer Herman Mashabala of iets soos die. We've got all these political parties, but they're not doing anything. I've reached out. Brother, when I say I've reached out, believe me, I reached out and nobody came to my rescue. Besides, I'm sitting now with the DA now, coming to my rescue. So what I'm saying is I hope and pray that something can come out of this. The place can be fixed, the sewage can be back to normal. Opposite, that pump station, it's a disaster. I don't know, I call it a milking cow. I call it a milking cow. Because what's happening there, you must see the grand cars that pull up there, parade, fashion parades, not just weekly, monthly. This is happening for years. I don't know what are they doing here. And I approached them on several occasions. I approached these people and, they can't give me answers. Others is very abrupt and like, jy weet, ons kan nie met jou praat, visie. So this place needs to be investigated for real. This place is not right. And it's making us suffer here. It's making my business like Helen. So we can't live like that. So I must say thank you to the DA for being here. Whoever sent you here, whoever said you must come see Mr. Mabenzo, I don't know. But I appreciate it. She says Vasco da Gama, one of our guys of Eldos. So I appreciate it. So Vasco sent the DA here. I appreciate it highly. Because all the other parties I reached out, hulle vat gat. Laat ek het so stel. Hulle vat gat. So I don't know. This party seems to be, good. Oh, there's Mr. Vasco. How are you, my brother? Yeah, he knows my problem as well. I've told him. He also forwarded it. And sometimes he told me, Mabenzo, I forwarded to this one, but it goes into deaf ears. You see? So this is not good, my brother. I don't care what people say. I don't care who. I'm talking to people who will help me. So I believe that they will help me. I don't know. I just have this feeling that the DA is going to help. So let's see. Laat ons sê, kom ons kyk wat is julle gemaak van. Let's see what you made of. So I just believe there's something in my gut that says you are going to get the place right here. The sewage is going to come right. The roads are going to be fixed. I've got footage of this place. How beautiful was Mansfield? When I came here 26 years back. A nice place, a beautiful business district. Now we have a swarm of shit happening here now. If I go out here, trap on the kak. My children can't even come here. My one daughter came down, Daddy, the sewage, my car now. Daddy, we can't even come here. What must I do? What must I do? Sorry for this, whatever. So I hope that something will come out of this. Believe me, I hope. And I believe that you guys will do something good. Because I've been seeing, Sergio, geld waar je mond is. Money talks, bullshit walks. So let's see what's going to happen. Because you are the first people that came out at least, I don't know, in how many years, 15 years, you guys are here in my premises. Nobody, they didn't even send somebody to even come and ask. Mabenzo, we received a complaint from you. Are you doing well? What's happening? What? Next. They like, I am not a citizen of South Africa. That's how they're treating us, So I don't know. I just hope everything will go well and you guys will make a difference from here. Maybe my business can, because I'm in the verge of selling. I told Vasco also, ek wil maar verkoop en nie wegfok. Ek is nou moeg van die kap. Jy weet? Nee, ek is moeg. Believe me, then we have scrupulous people. We have people stealing properties. Ek weet jy steel kare. Jy steel kare, jy kap kare, jy maak papiere. Yeah, we have people stealing properties, fictitious documentation that goes to the masters. From the master, it goes to the deeds office and they issue a title deed. Stealing, theft, where there is visible proof. I with all due respect, I was telling somebody, with all the proof I have, even if you give it to God, He won't even dispute it, the way the evidence is there. But the department sees nothing wrong. But anyway, thank you for being here, Mr. Jordan Lewis.
Thank you.
I know you from Cape Town.
Yes.
Taikant, right? Yes, Mr. Yeah, I see. Yeah, daar onder in die onderste boerkaap. Okay, but anyway, I appreciate you guys being here, right? So I hope and pray that you guys will make a difference here. Honestly, I hope and pray, because I've been trying. Nobody reached out to me. You guys reached out. So I have faith. At least you reached out. So by That I know. I've seen our class. Something will happen. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Just to say, we can only fix it if we are in government. We cannot fix it without the tools of government.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mabenzo and Auntie Felicity. Those were really touching words, both of them, reflecting the honesty and the frustration that residents and business owners are feeling in Johannesburg across the city. Thank you, Luyolo, and thank you very much, Helen, for inviting me to join you today. It's really great to be here. I had some prepared remarks, but actually listening to Auntie Felicity and Mr. Mabenzo, Mr. Ajam, excuse me, I'm going to just put those aside and just say a couple of things that I think come out of what they have said. Firstly, what I've seen here today is absolutely shocking. I also know that it is fixable. It is fixable. What we've seen here today is caused by years of neglect, failure to prioritize investment in basic infrastructure, and failure to spend money properly. And the consequences are plain for all to see, and not just in the smell and the huge river of sewage that we saw, but also the consequences for jobs. You heard Mr. Mabenzo from his own mouth say how impossible it is to run a business in these conditions. And that's why we've always said as the DA that infrastructure is first and foremost about delivering better services and dignity to residents. But it is absolutely closely linked with a successful economy and a city that is able to grow and attract new businesses, and where businesses can operate and flourish and employ new people. When infrastructure is broken, as it is here, businesses will die. Jobs will vanish. Where infrastructure works, businesses will grow, new businesses will come, and new jobs will come. It is as simple as that. Now, the other point I want to make is that it is not unusual for infrastructure to break. Just like all of us at our own homes, if you think about your house, if you don't keep your hand on it, if you don't maintain it, things will break. That happens. Infrastructure is exactly the same. It is mostly made of concrete and steel, and it needs maintenance. So the remarkable thing here is not that infrastructure is broken. The truly remarkable and disgraceful and unacceptable thing is that there is no plan to maintain it, to fix it, to upgrade it, not for months or even a year, but for years and years, 15 years, as Mr. Mabenzo said. That is what is most shocking here. In Cape Town over the last 5 years, we've spent 17 billion rand on sewer upgrades alone. 17. I haven't checked the Joburg numbers, but I have a sneaking suspicion that that number, 17 billion that we've invested just in sewers, is probably more than what Joburg has spent on its entire capital budget. I don't know.
The capital budget is 10 billion.
Right.
In fact, 8 billion.
And I suspect a lot of it is not unspent, exactly.
4 billion is unspent, but it's only 8 billion. The whole capital budget, everything.
So we've spent 17 billion just on the sewers upgrade and maintenance portion of our capital budget. And so we've brought sewer spills down by 33% in the city. And what we see is residents living with more dignity, better services, better sanitation. It allows us to roll out more flush toilets in townships because there's now capacity to deal with all of that extra sewage. And what we see in those areas is businesses investing, jobs being created, growing. And so you get into this positive cycle where things start to work, people start to have a better life, jobs start to come. Instead of this negative, destructive cycle that we see here in Joburg, where things break, businesses die, jobs leave. That is what we have to turn around. But I want to leave you on a hopeful note and say that I really do believe it can be turned around. This is infrastructure. It's made of concrete and steel and bricks and cement. It's not impossible to fix. It's not impossible to fix. And the interesting thing that Mr. Mabenzo said was that a lot of money has been spent on this pump station. Now therein lies, I think, a very interesting story. Because I bet if we go and scratch, we will find that a huge amount of money has been spent achieving nothing. Spending a lot but achieving nothing. And that is the other lesson, is that if you are going to fix this, it's not just about finding the money, it's making sure that it is not ferreted away into people's pockets for cronies and cadres. And I suspect that is exactly what's happened at this pump station. With all the fancy cars rocking up, millions being spent, but nothing working. So there are two really important takeaways here. It can be fixed with the right leadership that budgets properly, that makes sure that money is being spent on the right things, that tracks that money, makes sure that it is not going into the pockets of cronies and cadres. And when that happens, I assure you, these problems can be fixed. It will not be easy. It will not be overnight. I assure you, having worked now for 5 years on the Cape Town sewer system, the progress is steady in the right direction, but it doesn't happen overnight. Nothing in infrastructure does. These are big projects. They will cost hundreds of millions. They will have to be carefully planned by teams of engineers, but it can be done. So I encourage all residents to unite behind the only party, and indeed the only mayoral candidate, with the guts, with the focus, with the discipline, and indeed the track record to make sure that projects like this, problems like this, can get sorted out in Joburg. That is reason for hopefulness for Joburg's future. Thank you so much.
Sibulele kakhulu kwinkokheli yethu Johannesburg Hill Lewis. And also thank you to Mr. Mabenzo and Ms. Facility for sharing their stories, and also to our mayoral candidate who has taken up this particular issue and brought us here, as well as Councillor Vasco da Gama, who and the many other colleagues in the local area, Auntie Anne and many others who really worked to bring this issue forward. Colleagues, I may ask that we do questions, a Q&A. I don't know if there are questions that we can take from the floor. We will take what we see. And then thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Lizega Tandwa from the Sunday Times. I've got a couple of questions for you, Geordin, Helen, as well as you, sir. My first question to you, Geordin, is particularly what the original chair of Johannesburg stated when he was opening this address, and that was around the public protector. Public protector failing to do oversight in Johannesburg and putting emphasis in Cape Town. When the public protector investigates the ANC or other parties, the DA champions her findings or their findings. Why is the institution only legitimate to the DA when it is investigating your political opponents? And why should voters trust a party that appears to reject independent oversight when it doesn't go their way? My second question related to the public protector, you boasted about a budget that is 75% cities' infrastructure spending on pro-poor. How do you reconcile this claim with the public protector's findings which are binding, by the way, that your administration has systematically neglected Langa and Khayelitsha, leaving families to live alongside overflowing sewage, compromised fire safety, and without basic water access for years? Helen, I wanted to ask, given what you've seen in Johannesburg, we all know that Johannesburg is collapsing, and I don't think that there's any reason for us to debate that. But given what you've seen in Johannesburg, come the 5th of May, when, let's say, the DA does not have the majority and you need to go into those negotiation table, are you still prepared to have a coalition with the ANC? Are you prepared to have any sort of conversations with the ANC, given what you've seen here in Johannesburg? And perhaps can you expand on that when it comes to other metros in the country? And my last question is to you, sir. You say that you've been calling, you've mentioned every single political party, including the DA. For 15 years, you've been calling them to come and help you. And the DA is coming today. Are you not concerned that the DA is coming today, particularly because it's election time? And what happens with political parties is that they make promises around elections, and those promises are never fulfilled after that election. I just want to hear from you what you think about that.
Thank you so much, Sis Lizega. We'll go to the gentleman at the back, and then we'll come back to you, sir.
Good morning, Shannon Merrick's CBC Africa. I'm going to be a little bit slow today, and there's a reason. You know, Mr. Mabens is using the word Zurich in Afrikaans. So for my media colleagues, the correct word for Zurich in Afrikaans is kak. There's no other word. We don't know any other word. So it's not a swearing word. The kak is all over. That's the truth. The Zurich are all over. That's what it means in English. So he's not swearing when he says the kaka is everywhere. So I just wanted to clear that one point so people don't misunderstand. The word kak means Zurich. It means it stinks, it's dirty all over. Now, one of the key things on Mr. Mabenza's thing, you know, there was Nanpack in this area, there was the biscuit company and so on, and a lot of people are unemployed around Eldos, Kliptown, Freedom Park, Slovo Park, because all those businesses had to close. So I feel what Mr. Benza is saying, and I really hope something will happen, Helen, because I have a vested interest in El Dorado Park. Property rates are falling because Eldos stinks from this side. When you come in, the landfill side as well. Let me come to my questions now. The key thing here is, after 5th November, let's say the DA gets majority. What will you do, Helen Zille? Because we are tired for this story of smart cities. When Zurich are not working, a simple thing, the kak loop all over the street. So what are you going to do as Helen Zille after 5th November? The people give you a majority. I don't know whether you'll get it, but hypothetically speaking, you get the majority. What will you do about this thing you're showing us today, the Zurich here in El Dorado Park, and maybe the other places you'll show us as well? What are you, as the potential mayor, going to do on 5th November? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the front.
I'll try to be very, very quick and disciplined in my questions as well, because I see we outnumbered here today with the DA members, but be that as it may. Brayton here from Netwerk 24. My first question is to Helen. About 26 billion rand is required to fix the water infrastructure, sewage infrastructure in the city. If you do win the election, how long will that change? Till Mr. Mabenzo can say, oh, but it was worth it. This campaign was worth it for me to open my doors to Helen. How long does he have to wait? That's my first question. It seems like the other parties here in Johannesburg, the ANC, other parties are slow out of the blocks when it's coming to this local government election. In your assessment, why is that? Are they not willing to get into the boxing ring with the DA, or what's happening there? And then there's also an argument that there's so much to do, so much to fix in Johannesburg, but too little resources to do it because the revenue bases have been eroding for quite some time, over a number of years. What's the DA's plan to actually increase the revenue base of the city so that it actually can get around to fixing these issues we see very, very quickly? And then just to the leader, Mr. Lewis, this resolve issue, very, very public issue. Should John and Tony just have a braai? What's the DA's plan on a more serious note to stop that from happening? And are you going to take any steps against Mr. Steenhuisen? Because it seems like he was being defiant and disrespectful towards the new leadership that came in. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We'll start with the federal leader, and then we'll go to Helen as the mayoral candidate and Mr. Mabenzo. Thank you very much.
Okay. Lizeke, respectfully, the premise of both of your statements is factually incorrect. We have never said that the institution is illegitimate, and we have not, as you said, rejected its findings or its legitimacy. We have not done either of those things anywhere. Could you point to examples of us having done so? Okay. Well, that perception is incorrect. In fact, we welcomed the findings. If you go and look at my statement, I said, and indeed the report, on page 1 of the report, there is a lot of recognition given to the city for the cooperation that we offered in resolving the issues raised in the 2022 complaint. And indeed, almost all of those issues have been long resolved. Neither did the report find that, as you have said, that's not what it found. It referred to a single sewer collapse at the Langa flats, which the previous PP, Mrs. Mkwabana, found at the Langa flats when she did a walkabout in March of 2022. I was with her on that day. That was repaired many, many moons ago. And a group of 10 families was moved in a place in Khayelitsha called Town 2. They were moved precisely because the city was doing a sewer repair. We were doing a sewer upgrade, and they were living unlawfully, I must add, on top of the sewer. And they were moved, and no standpipe was provided to them. They were living right next door to the Town 2 clinic, and there was a standpipe a little bit down the road. And the PP found that it was too far for them to walk to that other standpipe. They needed one of their own. Also done, a long time ago. So anyone who has followed me closely as mayor for the last 5 years will know that I have spoken publicly, relentlessly. It is probably the issue I've spoken most about. If you go and do a word cloud of my entire 5 years in office, the issue I've spoken most about is the state of Cape Town sewer infrastructure and the investment required in it. And I haven't just spoken about it. We have put our money where our mouth is, to use the phrase used by Mr. Mabenzo, to the tune of 17 billion rand, dwarfing investment any other metro in South Africa by a country mile. And as I said, the results speak for themselves. We've brought sewer blockages and spills down by 33%, 1/3, over the course of this term of office. Now, the fact is there's a lot more still to do. We're going to keep investing at that same scale. In fact, if we can fund more, Helen will speak on the funding issue. If we can fund more, we will increase that scale even further. But we are actually hitting up against the ceiling of what we can fund sustainably ourselves as a city in that space. But I'm really proud of what we've achieved. Sewer spills are down in all the poorest communities in Cape Town. We've upgraded hundreds and hundreds of kilometers of pipeline. That has given us the capacity to roll out many thousands of new flush toilets and get people off of chemical toilets. That is only possible if you upgrade the system, and that is what we have done. So, let me be quite clear. You will go and you will still find a sewer overflow, no problem. And as I said, they're 33% down. They're not 100% down. So we still have work to do. We do not in any way, turn our backs on a rigorous oversight. The point is that that standard must be applied now in every single community in the country. And I think that might be quite tough to do, because we have worked collaboratively, with the PP's office in resolving those issues. And that's why we can go and publicly say, we welcome it, and she can publicly say the city has worked closely with them. So hopefully now, in frankly far, far more serious circumstances, the same standards will be applied. Thank you. Brayton, I want Deputy Minister Steenhuisen to focus on the positive work that he needs to do in the trade and industry portfolio. He has achievements under his belt in the trade space in agriculture. He did good work getting various new fruit products to new export markets in China and beyond. And so that is the kind of niche that he made for himself and really scored some wins there. And he must now go and build on those and replicate those and work positively, head down, focused on the goal in the trade and industry portfolio. Obviously, the public disagreement he's had with the other former leader, Tony Leon, has absolutely not been helpful and has been jumped on by our opponents to try and sensationalize that which is really just nothing. And hopefully it's over now, and John can focus positively on the work at hand. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I also want to start by addressing a faulty premise that was the foundation of your question with respect to Lizeka. And that faulty premise is that politicians, in doing oversight before elections, are merely self-serving. And we're out there to get votes for ourselves. The point is that the success or failure of a city is a political choice. It is a political choice. Cape Town is now voted and recognized regularly as one of the world's best cities. Why? Because 20 years ago, the majority of its citizens made a political choice that has resulted in that. And Joburg is a declining wreck that has become a symbol of urban failure because for 30 years, its residents have made political choices that led to this. And whether they wanted to or whether they foresaw that is not the issue. It did. And the point is that an election is a choice between future success or future failure. And that is what we have to bring to the voters' attention. This election is about you. It's about everybody who lives in Joburg. Do you want to have Felicity continuing to live in the poo? Or are we going to get a government that's going to do something about it? An election is about the people. And it's about the choices the people make about whether and how they want to improve their life circumstances. Most people don't get it, that politics is about the way they live their lives. And there's been no clearer example, Lizeka, probably in the world, than within one country, South Africa, where the DA governs just down the road here, Midvaal, compared to the Mfuleni. It's because the residents of Midvaal have, for 30 years, made a decision for the success of their municipality, and the residents of Mfuleni have made a choice for the failure of their municipality. That's a political choice. And so what we are saying to people is, the choice is yours. Do you want to continue voting for failure? Or do you want to give the city a serious chance? And that must be very important to you, because I presume you live in Joburg. Or you don't live in Joburg. Well, Mkhali City, okay, well, that's nearly as bad, not quite. But It's a choice that people make. You know, it's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives, you know. It's a better world, just you and me, that's all. Just apply it to politics. So we're not here being cynical and saying we want to wheedle a vote out of Mr. Mabenza. Ask him. I've never asked what party he supports, and I'm not interested. And he gave us a little plug today. No one asked him to. The point is, we're taking you here to show you what fundamental urban failure looks like. And you may not feel the consequences in Mogale City, but my goodness, the people around here and the people who used to have jobs in this very street know what the consequences are. And the reason why so many businesses are moving out of Joburg and into Midvaal or to Cape Town is because of the quality of the government. That's why. Where things work, businesses go because they have confidence in the future, they're prepared to invest, and they're prepared to employ people. Where government doesn't work, the opposite happens. And elections are a choice between one path or another path. And it is our duty, it's not a cynical ploy, it is our duty to point that out to people and say, where do you want to go? And that's what we do in an election campaign. We say, you have the choice, you have the power. If you don't vote, you're making the choice to remain as you are. And if you vote for the parties that have brought us here, you're making a choice to continue. But there is an alternative, and we're presenting it. Very simple, and there's nothing cynical about it, because our track record proves our point. So there's absolutely nothing cynical about it. And yes, we are here because we're in an election campaign. And yes, we are here because during an election campaign, and I've only been living in Joburg now for 6 months since I lived here for the first 35 years of my life. But nevertheless, I'm now finding out all of these places because I've got to know what we've got to do if the voters give us enough votes to be able to fix things. That's their choice. And I'm telling Mr. Mabenza now that it's not going to happen in the first 6 months because Joburg is bankrupt. Joburg has no money. As Kenny Kunene said on television the other day, he cannot put petrol in the fleet of the Joburg Roads Agency's vehicles because they've got no money for petrol. Now, you know what this is going to cost to fix? People's electricity substations are breaking down. No spare parts. Nothing. I went to one of the depots the other day. Nothing, nothing, nothing. The cupboard is bare. I'll be like Mother Hubbard taking over this particular municipality. But we will make a start. And you know, Geordin said he spent 17 billion rand just on sewage. We think it's great when we think that the World Bank has offered South Africa's cities 19 billion rand if we ring-fence the finances. 19 billion rand is just, for all the cities, is just slightly more than Geordin has spent on sewage alone in Cape Town. Those are the figures we're talking about. And Joburg has been looted, systematically looted. When I find out of some of the corruption stunts that are going on here, I remain speechless, and it's rare for me to be speechless. And I'm amazed at the extraordinary, innovative entrepreneurialism that people bring to corruption. Unbelievable. The schemes you can't believe, you couldn't think of them in your life. That is what we face in Joburg. Joburg is an interlocking network of criminal syndicates parading as a government. That's what it is. And the syndicates are linked to the different factions in the ANC. And they all fight each other for access. That is the mess. That is the consequence of the way people have voted in Joburg for 30 years. And they must decide if they want to continue or not. It's their choice. It's their choice. So Mr. Mabenza can make his free choice. And I'm telling you right now, Mr. Mabenza, we won't fix this in 6 months. But this will be a top priority because water, which includes sewage, is our #1 priority. And when I look at fixing all the sewage in Joburg, we will then do a hierarchy of emergencies. And I haven't seen anything worse than this. So this will be, until I see something worse, which is never impossible in Joburg, until I see something worse, this is at the top of the priority list. So I just want to be very, very clear about that point. Elections are about the citizens and the choices they make about the future they want. We put ourselves up there as candidates not because we think it's a good life. It is not a fun life. No people work as hard as the ward councillors in a failing ANC city. The DA ward councillors are working themselves to the bone because they can't get anything done for their citizens in a bankrupt and failing city. It's not a job that people aspire to. It's a job that people drive through commitment to public service. And I'm being very honest here, and we have a selection system that weeds out all the chances and puts the best people into office. So that is what elections are about. And everyone can stop being cynical about us because we are here, and the choices you make determine your future, not ours. Okay, why are other parties slow? Well, firstly, the ANC can't find a mayor, so that's a tiny problem that they've still got to deal with. Well, Kenny is running around campaigning, but he forgot that he's part of the government. So Kenny Kunene is the PA's mayoral candidate, and he forgot that he is the mayoral committee member for roads and transport, which made him responsible for bridges, of course. He stands under the bridges and said, look, everybody, infrastructure in Joburg is collapsing. And he points out how the bridge is collapsing, but he is the mayoral committee member responsible for it. So I don't know if he thinks that's how he's going to run his campaign, but I had a little giggle about that. So Herman Mashaba is running a campaign against me. That's fine. He's not really running a campaign around how to fix Joburg, which is also fine. He must do what he needs to do. I don't mind. And as far as the public protector is concerned, I read the report very carefully into Cape Town, and I also welcome the new standard. But in the complaint that we're putting together for the public protector, I've been very clear. We welcome the new standard, but she's not going to get that standard in Joburg for at least another decade. So if she comes and looks at anything here, I will welcome her, and I will say, please help us, and please look at them, but I can promise you she can go to every street block, and she, applying that standard, will have a list as long as your arm. So fine, let's judge by this new standard. We welcome it. We will strive towards it. We won't reach it in 10 years in Joburg because look what the place looks like, and there is no money. And so to have a report like that comes out 4 years after everything's been fixed, and then say Cape Town is guilty of maladministration, I thought it was very generous of Cape Town to welcome that report. Thanks. Your coalition question. Well, let me answer the coalition question. You don't know what coalitions you're going to form till after an election because you don't know what options you're going to get. If we get 40% of the vote, we're the biggest party by far now in the polling. But we don't know how much we're going to get or what percentage of the vote we're going to get, nor do we know what percentage of the vote other parties are going to get. And when you put together a coalition, the goal is 50% plus one. And if you can get it over the line with one party that is compatible, you choose that, whichever party that may be. Or you may not choose one party that can take you over the line. You may choose two smaller parties that together can take you over the line. You do not know what you're going to do until the election results are in and you can see what the options are. A coalition is never the first prize. When you have a coalition, it's never good. If we have to put together a 9-party coalition, I'm going to suggest to Geordin that we go into opposition because we can't run a 9-party coalition and get anything done here in Joburg. It's the choice of the voters. If they want to put in us, make it difficult for us to get into government and govern properly and make it impossible for us to govern because every second council meeting somebody wants to move a motion of no confidence and you can't ever implement your plan, then I'd rather be in opposition. So it is the voters' choice, and they must make up their mind if they want to rescue Joburg or not. And if we don't get to 50% plus one, which will be a stretch and very, very difficult, if we don't get to 50% plus one, we will look at the options and we will take the least bad option. They will all be bad, but we'll take the least bad one.
Yeah, I mean, I think the same. Just 10 seconds. I just think the same principle applies to the other metros as well, Lizeka. We must try as best as we possibly can between now and the 4th of November to win, and it is not impossible. It is a big stretch, as Helen says. It is a big stretch, but it is not impossible. And that will give us the clear, firm mandate to turn these metros around and get them working. Every % less than that makes it exponentially harder. So the difference between 48 and 47 is exponentially harder because it means that you have to include a whole lot more tiny parties. And these tiny parties in general are not interested in the issues of governance. They are interested in what they can get out of the deal for themselves. So let's try to give Helen and Katu and Zille and all of our other mayoral candidates the strongest mandate and majority that we can. Thank you.
Yeah, to answer your question, it seems like it's a political stunt here. Like you telling me that the DA is here now on the problem and the issue that I have here. Now this is ongoing. This has been ongoing for not weeks, not months, decades. And I've been complaining. So for the DA to be here today, it's not my political party. And for them to come here, thank you to Mr. Vasco da Gama. He's a resident from El Dorado Park. We are friends. And I told him about a problem, which I've been telling my political party for decades. No response, nothing. No hello, Kubai, nothing, mute. I've got so much evidence of correspondence with them. From the high presidency to the lowest, I've got proof if you need proof. They all are mute. Some of them respond, and when I give them feedback, they go mute. They go mute. And this is happening now for over 15 years. And if you need proof of it, I've got an encyclopedia of proof. And I can produce it. Who I've been corresponding with, who I've been sending my things to, until I spoke to a friend of mine. I'm not a DA. Spoke to a DA member there, Vasco. And I told him about my problem here. And I want to pick up here, I can't. And the man comes here now, pushing out an olive branch. Now what do? Do I throw it away like all the others? They don't even see the olive branch or don't even say, no. They just ignore me. So here I have a man that came now and is coming to my rescue. It's coming to my rescue. I'm surprised. I'm not a DA member. But I'm surprised in what he's doing here. It can make me change my mind. Because all the other parties and my own political party never ever reached out to me from the cradle, and maybe I'm going to the grave as well now. So I don't know. So if somebody comes like this and he reaches out the hand, are you not going to, give him your hand? Because he's here, he's offering you help. Your mother don't help you, your father don't help you, your brother don't help you, your sister don't help you. Here you have your neighbor, whom you are having words every day. You moet nie oor my fucking fence klim. Jy moet nie goed in my hart gooi. Here the neighbor comes and he looks at you sitting, asking you, my brother, what's happening here? Ek sê, hey man, jy weet my ma kan my nie help. Ek het my ma gesê, my pa vertel my, jy weet die baas stories. And my neighbor tell me, nee, kom, laat ons gaan. And my neighbor takes me and he goes, hey, jy plaat die man, jy gaan, ek gaan jou, he stands up for you where your mother, your father, they can't stand up for you. So that's a surprise. That's why I say this is not a political stunt. This I appreciate as help that's being offered to me, which no other parties, which nobody could offer to me. So this is not a political stunt. This I appreciate, because from here, I hope and I pray that action will prevail. And the place will be fixed, and my business, which I want to sell, I'm packing up. So maybe it can be a business rescue. Maybe I can look after my children and my grandchildren. So thank you to Vasco and to Helen. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mabenza. You will definitely hear from me. It's not the last time. You're not, it's definitely not the last time.
Sure.
And we have to go to the next place, which is officially part of the city of Joburg's housing rental stock. Our next stop will be at Maxwell Court, which is officially part of the city of Joburg's housing rental stock. And they let it decline so badly through lack of maintenance that they have had to condemn their own building.
Is this in Claremont today?
This is in Claremont.
We are launching our first ever election campaign poster for November 2026 local government elections.
There's nothing as disappointing as you wanting to make a change or waking up and saying, I want to make a change, but only to find out that you are not registered or you are registered in the wrong place.
Because if you're not registered, you can't vote, and you can only vote at the voting station where you are registered.
Even if you don't know who to vote for yet, buy yourself the option by registering to vote. Decide to be part of the group that decides what the future of our city should be.
But today we stand here excited and full of hope because we have an opportunity where we can register and ensure that we vote for a government that will get our city working for its people.
The choice is going to be very, very clear. You're going to have some of the same, where you have a failed government in place, or you're going to put a new government in place led by the Democratic Alliance. And we are asking you to come out in your numbers and register to vote and vote for the Democratic Alliance on the 4th of November.
So make sure that you are registered by going to check.da.org.za. You can register right now in the comfort of your own home. Remember, go to check.da.org.za
and come and vote for a new government on the 4th of November. Kyk wat doen 'n blyse.
Thanks for watching. Join the mission to